Welcome to Best Learn English Online.
Once upon a time in a small town, there lived a man named Daniel. He was a humble carpenter, known for his skillful hands and warm heart. Daniel had a wife, Maria, and two young children, Lucas and Elena, who were the center of his universe. Every morning before dawn, Daniel would rise from bed, careful not to wake his family. He would brew a pot of coffee, the aroma filling the quiet kitchen, and sit for a moment at the table, reflecting on the day ahead. He would often think about the dreams he had for his children: a safe home, a good education, and the chance to follow their passions. After breakfast, he would grab his well-worn tools and head to the workshop. His days were long, filled with the sounds of sawing, hammering, and the satisfying creak of wood being shaped into something useful. He took on every job he could find, from building fences to crafting custom furniture, often working late into the evening. Despite the fatigue weighing on him, he always returned home with a smile, eager to see his family. One chilly evening, as he sat with Maria and the children around the dinner table, Lucas asked, "Dad, why do you work so hard?" Daniel paused, looking into his son's curious eyes. "I work hard so you can have the things I didn't. I want you to be able to chase your dreams without worry." Elena chimed in, "But we love you just being here with us." Their words warmed his heart, and he realized that while the physical things he provided were important, the love and time spent together were what truly mattered. As winter approached, the town faced a harsh cold spell, and work slowed. Daniel's income dwindled, but he was determined to keep his family warm. He took on odd jobs, repairing broken fences and clearing snow for neighbors, often returning home exhausted. Maria supported him, stretching their budget and finding creative ways to make meals with whatever they had. One evening, as they sat by the fireplace, Daniel noticed Lucas and Elena whispering excitedly. They handed him a small, hand-painted card. "It's for you, Dad," they exclaimed. Inside he found a simple message: "We love you. Thank you for everything." Tears welled in his eyes as he realized the sacrifices he made were not in vain. His family understood the depths of his love through his hard work. As spring arrived, Daniel's efforts began to bear fruit. With the thaw came new opportunities, and he took on bigger projects, even starting to save for a family vacation, a dream that had seemed distant just months before. When summer rolled around, they finally set off on a short trip to the coast. As they splashed in the waves and built sandcastles, Daniel felt a sense of fulfillment. In those moments of laughter and joy, he understood that every long day, every sore muscle, was worth it for the smiles on his children's faces. Years later, as Lucas and Elena grew up and began to pursue their own dreams, Daniel's lessons of hard work and dedication stayed with them. They understood that family was not just about the roof over their heads or the meals on the table, but about the love, sacrifices, and unwavering support that held them together. In the end, Daniel learned that while the work was hard, the love he poured into his family was what truly built their home, a foundation that would last a lifetime. As the years passed, Daniel's workshop flourished, and he became known not just for his craftsmanship but also for his integrity. Customers would often return, not just for his work but for the warmth he brought into every interaction. Daniel took pride in knowing that he was not only providing for his family but also building connections in the community. One day, a new family moved into the neighborhood, a single mother named Clara with 2 children. They were struggling to settle in, and when Daniel learned that Clara needed repairs on her house, he offered his help. Even though it was a busy season for him, he felt compelled to lend a hand. "I can fix your porch," he said with a smile, "and maybe teach the kids how to use some tools along the way." Clara was taken aback by his kindness. "But you have your own family to care for." "I do," Daniel replied, "and that's why I want to help. We're all in this together." As he worked on the porch, Lucas and Elena watched intently, curious about the tools and techniques. Daniel took the time to teach them, showing them how to measure twice and cut once, emphasizing patience and precision. It became a cherished bonding experience, not just for him and his kids, but also for Clara's children, who joined in with enthusiasm. When the porch was finished, Clara expressed her gratitude. "I can't thank you enough, Daniel. You didn't have to do this." "I know," he replied, "but it's important to lift each other up. We all have our struggles." That evening, Clara invited the family over for dinner. The children laughed and played, their joy echoing in the small house. Over the meal, Daniel and Clara shared stories of their lives, finding common ground in their dreams and aspirations. It was a simple evening, but it felt like a celebration of community. Months later, as the leaves turned gold and crimson, Daniel faced a challenging winter ahead. One evening, he sat with Maria after the children had gone to bed, discussing their finances. "I'm worried," he admitted. "If business doesn't pick up, we might have to make some tough choices." Maria took his hand, her eyes filled with understanding. "We'll get through this together. You've taught the kids the value of hard work and resilience. We just need to stay positive." The very next day, inspired by their conversation, Daniel decided to offer woodworking classes in his workshop. He believed that sharing his skills could not only bring in extra income but also create a space for people to learn and connect. The classes were a hit, attracting people of all ages. Daniel's workshop buzzed with laughter and chatter as he guided each student, from beginners to those wanting to refine their craft. Lucas and Elena often joined in, helping their dad set up and assisting with the younger kids, deepening their own skills in the process. As winter arrived, Daniel's efforts bore fruit. The extra income allowed him to keep the family warm, and the community felt more connected than ever. Neighbors came together for holiday festivities, sharing meals and stories, embodying the spirit of generosity that Daniel had instilled. On Christmas Eve, Daniel and Maria gathered their children for a special surprise. They had been saving secretly and now unveiled a small tree adorned with handmade ornaments, each crafted by the family throughout the year. "It's beautiful," Elena exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with delight. "That's not all," Maria said. "We also have a tradition to start." They explained that each year they would choose a family in need and help them, just as they had done for Clara. Years later, as Lucas and Elena pursued their own paths, they often returned to the workshop, bringing their friends to share in the joy of crafting. Daniel watched with pride, knowing they carried forward the lessons he had imparted. On a sunny afternoon, as they all gathered for a family barbecue, Daniel reflected on how hard work had shaped their lives. It wasn't just the physical labor, but the dedication, compassion, and love they had cultivated together. "Family is everything," he told his children, watching them laugh and play. In that moment, surrounded by laughter, warmth, and love, Daniel understood that every hour spent working, no matter how tough things get, we support each other. That's what makes us strong. Every sacrifice made had built something far more precious than material success. It had built a family that would stand together through thick and thin, forever anchored by love and hard work.
Video is over. Get out of here first, comment and let me know how you liked the video. And subscribe if you like your will and it's part 2.